tough. Is there a way that we can potentially, in this disaster time, collaborate with USDA to create a very creative program where the farmer and the rancher will work together, and some of these cover crops, say here in the Central Platte Valley, could be planted to a cover crop that could be grazed?
Yeah, that was brought up a couple days ago in Brady, and that's another piece on the list, is to say, gee whiz, if we can get a program where whether you put a cover crop up to create more hay, more roughage, or become a new pasture for the year. Those are some things that really, really make a lot of sense, because I don't know about anybody here, but if, I don't want to move my mom and cows a long way away. So how can I work with the neighbor that says, hey, I get this quarter, we put X in, we water, we can handle however many cows. Those are things that are no-brainers that, those are, I don't know about all of you, I want government on my hair, but government's supposed to keep us safe and step in and help us get our economy going and recover, and that's just an awesome idea. So we'll work on it. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Sorry, one more. I know it's a controversial issue we're dealing with for cow-calf, just making a statement for the cow-calf deal. Ram law is going to be important. That's part of the.
Yeah, so there's.
Just a statement for the cow-calf.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And
I would echo Todd's.
Yeah, I think, I don't know what's going to happen, but there is one misnomer out there that people are trying to end the branding. There's nobody trying to do that. So, and I don't know where that, I don't have any say in the legislature. I wish I did, but I don't. Any other questions or comments?
Why did it take 2 days to get the bigger resources out here?
Why did it take us 2 days?
Yeah, why didn't you get it sooner?
That's, well, I'll just speak from, so I can tell you last week, I was in Kearney speaking to rural EMTs on Thursday night. I was back in Lincoln on Friday, and we started hearing about the burn sometime mid Friday morning. So we started working on it then. I was in Ogallala Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. You got to remember, so we had DOT mobilized. We mobilized Air National Guard on Friday. So we made those things start happening. But again, you got to remember, National Guard people are working, and so it takes time. When I was out in Ogallala on Saturday morning, I wish we could have figured something out faster than 20. But you got to remember, the fire started and it went 70 miles in 12 hours. So you can always do better on that. But from my seat, did everything that we knew how, and then some of it you just can't comprehend how fast. You can't comprehend what happened here at Cottonwood. Can't comprehend what happened at Morale, where so we're all going to get better from it. There's no question. I appreciate the comment. I hear you loud and clear. And because of farmers with this, because of what people did, you get it in Ogallala, because of the volunteers, there were 600 people evacuated. By a little bit of God's grace and a whole lot of work, a lot of places could have been burned down that didn't. So, and just that, to accentuate it's local control. And that's what's really, really important. We're all about local control. We make our decisions at home and in our community for our neighbors, and you never want to wait for the state or the federal government, for God's sake.
May I add a little bit? Sir, may I add a little bit? I don't want to speak for the adjutant general, but
citizen soldiers. They're working in communities all across the state. So when the request or the need for a National Guard comes in, we've got to get them in. And and frankly, I think they're moving a lot faster today than they were 3 or 4 years ago, because you said make it happen. They are moving quicker.
It's still not quick enough, but I think we're getting better. Go ahead.
I would like to speak on the fire department's end of it. Looking at it from the fire department, I was telling the guys 2 months ago, fire protection this year was way worse than it was 3 years ago, because the fuel was out there. Everybody knew it was there, gonna happen.
Yeah.
There should have been a plan started to be prepared for it before it did happen, and the resources would have been ready to go.
Yeah. The Sunday before, there was a burn that got out of whack in the county, and Mike said we should do a burn ban today, and yeah, I'm still kicking myself now. The Moral Fire was electrical. Should have, yeah, no question. We should have been more aggressive with the strategic plan to say this is going to happen. I totally, the mayor, my mayor's kicking myself in the butt. Should have been, we didn't.
I mean, we was talking about it at the fire department for 2 months, and it was gonna happen. It was gonna be worse than it was 3 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and just so you know, there's this misnomer that the governor's too busy to take phone calls. We need your help. We can't. We don't know. But you're 100% right. We blew it. We should have been. We should have been more proactive. But because we had extraordinary rain, way more dry matter out there now. We had no snow. Yeah, you're 100% right. We blew it. Yes.
I have a question for the emergency manager. Can you tell me why the Red Cross systems in place were told that basically we were uninvited to the party? We were told that it was unnecessary for us to continue with mass care or anything that was needed?
The Red Cross has been active in the State Emergency Operations Center since the first day of activation. They've been present, they've had shelters open, and haven't any typical harassments. What do? We go to friends, family, and others who care about us. We don't go to the shelters, but the Red Cross has been engaged since day one.
I understand that because I was working in Brady at the shelters that we had set up. We also have systems set up for feeding people, for distribution of emergency supplies, for anything that's needed when this type of things happen. And at the meeting that was held fairgrounds in North Platte the other day at noon, they were basically told we don't need anything from you. And when we closed the shelter for the firefighters at the Armory, we had water, et cetera, left over. They said, we don't want it, take it away. We don't want anything from Red Cross.
I'm going to have to go back and visit with Jill Orton on that, and Jill, Nebraska Highway Red Cross chapter, but I don't have a specific answer on that. I can get it and get back to you on that.
Well, I'm asking because I was the mass care chief on this DRO.
I think maybe one comment regarding, number one, you got to realize you might be talking to somebody that hasn't slept for 3 days. You might be in a location where there's been so many things dropped out, they don't even know what to do with it all. So we're going through really, really difficult circumstances. So I would encourage you to keep smiling, keep doing your thing. Don't take that negatively. These are unprecedented times of what we've got to work through. And I do want to make a comment. So there's some people that said, Jim, you're overreacting. We don't need all these extra helicopters and everything. And so we're not going to wake up and think shoulda, coulda, woulda. So we're not gonna blow it in the coming, we'll go 2 weeks at a time and keep assessing. So if it doesn't rain, we got red flag days for a long time. And so I just want you to know, I hear you loud and clear, and you can't look back. Yesterday's history, but we can be way more strategic than what we were. And our teams are working on it, and we're open to suggestions.
Any other questions?
Can I ask you one question?
Me?
This is, anyway,
Yep.
you're not just really important. I come out a couple times a year because you have a pretty valuable resource just north of town. There's a golf course, okay?
Well, I know they try to burn the outside of one side one year, the inside this year. I'm guessing we're probably not gonna try to do that. But, yeah, they open Wednesday.
They open Wednesday? Okay,
Yeah.
because I was out in September and October, so, and May and June are coming.
Let me just say one minute. Well, let me just finish up, and Jake, thank you to everybody here. You have an extraordinary community, extraordinary people, and it's really, really important we just keep each other's backs. And if somebody does something that doesn't make sense, just, hey, Jim, it doesn't make sense. And I think it's really important that we all stay on alert. We all know we're in high risk, that we all stay on alert. And remember, we got the greatest people on the face of the earth right here. And as I say, together we can. If any of us trip off by ourselves, we can't do anything, but together we can do anything.